how to handle the appraisal when it comes in on your turnkey rental property that you're investing in. If it comes in higher than what you're paying for the property, cool, no problem. Close on the property. It's worth more than you're paying for it. If it comes in right around what you're paying for it, cool, again, no problem. The lender's going to sign off on it. You're getting a property that is supposedly properly valued. But what if the appraisal comes in low? Here's where things get a little hairy. The first thing to understand is appraisals aren't always super reliable. Could this be said for a high appraisal? Maybe. Maybe you're not getting something at a good deal. I don't know. But that doesn't matter because the lending works. But if an appraisal comes in low, you're going to be on the hook for the difference between the appraised value and the purchase price, because the bank's not going to, they're not willing to cover that. They're like, if the property is not worth that and we end up with the property, we don't want to pay that difference. Like, we're only going to lend on what the appraisal says. So you would be forced to come out of pocket for that. Here's how to deal with this. If you get a low appraisal on a turnkey rental property, first step, don't freak out. Just don't freak out, because it's not going to be helpful, and there's a lot of information you can get before. Actually, there's never a reason to freak out. Just don't freak out. Second, before anything else, contact the turnkey provider and say, hey, the appraisal came in and it's low by this amount. What's your recommendation? They may go a few different directions with it. If they're total jerks, they may say, well, that is what it is, so you have to come out of pocket for that because it's in your contract. Again, not a huge advocate of working with those providers personally. Or they could say, no, I know for sure that that's not an accurate appraisal. Let's get a second appraisal, and either I'll cover it or I'll split the difference with you, or we're going to contest this appraisal, because it is a thing that appraisers may have a bad day, or they may miss something, or for whatever reason an appraisal comes in. I've known appraisals. There was a property recently that got 3 appraisals on it. One came in at $80,000, one came in at $120,000, and one came in at $155,000, all within days of each other. Like, great, this is helpful. Not. So ask the turnkey provider their recommendation before anything else. I've seen so many people start freaking out and ask everyone, what should I do? What should I do? And they haven't even asked the turnkey provider, because the turnkey provider may fix it all on their own dime themselves, or maybe they adjust the purchase price for you. Say, well, you know, we can't go all the way down to the 120, but maybe we'll cut your price down to 125. What do you think? So find out your options first. Step 1, don't freak out. Step 2, contact the turnkey provider and nobody else, because they're the ones who will have the actual answers, and find out your options. After that, then you can start to make a decision. If a second appraisal comes in and it's still low, or if they just say, you know, it is what it is, we can't come down on the price, or, you know, whatever the final situation ends up being, make your decision based off of that. If it's $10,000 below what you're paying for it, then, you know, unless you're under contract for that, then I don't know that I would do that, because aren't you kind of paying $10,000 more than the property's worth, and why? There are providers, I've kind of alluded to this, there are providers who have it in their sales contract saying that even with a low appraisal, you're on the hook. Personally, I think they're giving turnkeys a bad name, because they're making people believe that you're going to be forced to overpay, meaning pay more than what the property is worth, to buy a turnkey. I don't think that's cool. And none of the providers I work with force you to do that. They're like, wait, no, you should be paying around market value for a turnkey property, and that's that. And if that number can't be reached, then quite often they'll just have you switch to another property. So that's the other thing, is either get to a resolution that works for you and for the lender and for the seller and everybody's happy. If you can't do that, you can get out of that property. Say, hey, I can't do this. I'm not interested in overpaying or coming out of pocket for that. Do you have another property I could switch into? So the turnkey provider may just put you into another property with a better appraisal potential. Or if the provider's not willing to work with you on that, go find another turnkey provider. But, you know, so again, quick summary of the steps. Number 1, don't freak out. Number 2, find out what your actual options are before you try and figure out the answer. Number 3, based on what comes out of that, then make your decision. Again, nowhere in there did you have to freak out about anything, because it is what it is. Worst case, switch properties. That's it.